I remember us talking, and he told me that he can tell when an actor is thinking about something else while they're doing a scene. And honestly, that kind of changed my whole perception of what it means to act, is that you really do have to be in the moment.
The Young Entertainment Podcast. The Young Entertainment Podcast.
Okay, we are live. Hi, this is the Young Entertainment Podcast. I am Daniella, and this is our co-host, Mordechai. Aliyah, we're so excited to chat with you today. Thanks for joining us.
Likewise, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Okay, so before we dive in and get to know you, because our audience is going to be so excited that we are chatting with you today, I'm gonna do a little bio for you. Hopefully I get this all right, but we did our homework here. So Aliyah Mastin is an incredible young actress that delivers a standout performance as Presley Collins in Hulu's gripping political thriller Paradise, which was just renewed for a second season. Congratulations, that is so exciting.
Thank you.
Aliyah is originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and she has captivated audiences with her roles as Maya in Honey Girls, young Nala in The Lion King on Broadway, and most recently as Phyllis Wheatley in Netflix's Stamped from the Beginning. Now in Paradise, she plays Presley Collins, who is the daughter of Agent Xavier Collins, played by the Sterling K. Brown, bringing to life a powerful father-daughter relationship that serves as the emotional core of the series. So with Paradise being renewed for a second season, now is the perfect time to spotlight Aliyah and her incredible journey from Broadway to Hollywood. Girl, you have done so much. That is so exciting. You've accomplished so much at such a young age. So we're going to jump right into it, put you on the spot with a fun little question. So have you ever heard of an elevator pitch?
I have. Yes.
Okay. So we want to know, if we bumped into you in the elevator, having accomplished so much at such a young age and playing iconic roles with iconic people, Aliyah, girl, what would be your elevator pitch?
Well, I guess my elevator pitch would be, I'm a full plate. I dance, I sing, I act, I songwrite as well. I'm getting into creative directing. And yeah, that was a boring
That was great.
elevator pitch, but I've got a lot to offer, I guess you could say.
You do. You're not even like a triple threat. You're like a quintuple threat, or as many as you can go. I love that. That's so cool. And let's give a chance to for Mordechai to say hello. So Mordechai is the founder of Young Entertainment, and he's also our wonderful producer who scouts the talent and puts these interviews together. And Mordechai also lives in New York. We're fellow musical theater kids and musical theater fans. So to hear that you're on Broadway is so exciting. So Mordecai, do you want to pop in and say hi to our wonderful guest for a moment?
Yeah, hey, welcome. Yeah, no, and I saw you were in The Lion King. That was like so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, what was that
Yeah.
experience like?
Gosh, if I could relive any moment in my childhood, it would be The Lion King. It was the perfect start. We were taken care of so well, and not only we had a wrangler, basically a caretaker, that would watch after us and make sure that we got to our places. But truly, everyone a part of that cast took great care of us, nurtured us, taught us. And I really do feel like The Lion King is the reason why I carry myself the way that I do on every other project. They really taught us to be humble and kind. And they gave me the tools that I needed to have to be able to continue to do this. So I'm very grateful to have started there.
That's so cool. How old were you when you were in that production?
I was 11 years old.
Cool.
Wow.
So do you remember being nervous at all, being 11, or were you kind of just in your own little bubble and it wasn't nerve-wracking? It was just like a fun little moment.
You know what? It wasn't nerve-wracking at all. I try to channel that. Maybe it was naiveness or something. But I wasn't nervous at all. I could have a kind of rough show and I'd be ready to do it again the next day, and I wouldn't beat myself up about it. Now it's a bit harder just because, you're a lot more self-conscious. Then, it was a breeze. I wish that have that, whatever that was, I wish that I could have it back.
I love that so much. Okay, and I wanna ask you more about that, but I wanna give our audience the most perfect intro to who Aaliyah is. So, you started out was your first big production was that The Lion King?
Yes, it was my first audition, first production. Yeah.
So you that was your first audition, and you nailed it, and you booked it.
You know what? I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of went in. They taught me like a dance combo. I did it. I sang a song, and then yeah. So honestly, I can't. I feel like I can't take much credit, but yeah, it was yeah a breeze.
That's so cool. I think it's almost do you feel like sometimes the less you know, the better sometimes? Like, it's kinda like when we're young, we just audition, we just go for it. We don't really know the stakes or anything, and it kinda makes it easier.
Yeah, I think it's because 'cause you're not really overthinking a lot,
Yeah.
you don't know too much, and so you're not worrying about things that really don't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's so cool. Okay, so, you started out very first audition, you nailed it, you were in The Lion King on Broadway. What was your next big project, next big role that you landed?
my next big project, so it wasn't a role, but I joined an a cappella group called Acapop Kids. It was founded by Pentatonics. We sang pop songs, kinda like your Kids Bop kinda thing, except it was 100% a cappella, and I did that from age 13 to 15.
Oh my gosh, I was in show choir in high school,
Really?
and I loved it so much. We did so many a cappella pieces, and it's so much fun, and I feel like you learn so much because in a cappella groups, you are forced to work as a team. I mean, you have to work together, so I'm sure that that totally played into your career later in life and being part of all these amazing casts. That's so cool. Okay, what was your first notable television role?
My first notable television role was I believe it was, television? Well, it's Presley, but movie role was, Maya in The Honey Girls.
Oh my gosh, fun. Okay, love it. And what was that experience like, booking your first big film role?
So it was in the COVID era. It was sort of coming back a little bit, but there was still a lot of restrictions. Everything was on Zoom, and then we had to quarantine in Canada for 2 weeks before we could start filming. So it was definitely an interesting first kind of movie experience, but it was great. I mean, we got to film in Canada. I also got to film with people that I knew. It was two people, McNeilis and Ava Grace. They were both in Acapop Kids as well, and we all auditioned together. We had no idea we were auditioning together, and the director really loved our chemistry, and yeah, we all got to work together. So it was good to work with people that you know for your first film.
Yeah, that's so cool. And what was it like quarantining in Canada for 2 weeks? Like, what did you do? Is it just a lot of movies and TV watching, or what did you do?
Honestly, a lot of trying to not drive myself insane.
Yeah.
My mom went with me, and so we had to quarantine
Oh.
for 2 weeks. We had to get, tested, and so we had a doctor. That was, like, our only visitor, like, that was, like, the only person outside that we could, like, talk to other than each other. But yeah, like you said, a lot of movies, just trying to keep ourselves from going nuts, and also
Yeah.
it was just preparing for the role, reading over the script as much as I could, and then finally
Yeah.
we were released and we could go explore Canada, so
That's awesome. Yeah, there must be so much adrenaline. Like, you're so excited, you book this role, you fly to another country, and then you have to quarantine. But it is kind of cool. You have all that time to just focus on getting ready and memorizing lines and all your backstories for your character. That's awesome. Okay, so one thing that we do here at Young Entertainment is if we talk about masterclass moments, which is educational moments for our audience. A lot of people that listen to us and follow us are aspiring actors and actresses. So they love learning from incredible stars like you who are doing what they want to do. So that's kind of what these next few questions will be around. So, and you said a couple things earlier that were so interesting. I wanted to come back to so you said that you auditioned with some people that you knew for that film that you booked, and you said you didn't know that that was gonna happen. Can you walk us through a little bit of that audition process and how that went down?
you know what? I'm honestly still getting used to it myself. That audition process specifically was just a lot of getting accepted into Zoom calls and then leaving, and then like that whole callback experience. Um, I think that I mean, I would personally love to do more in-person auditions. I think they're so much more fun. So if you can do an in-person audition, definitely go for it. I know it seems really nerve-wracking, and honestly, I think doing a Zoom audition may feel a lot more comfortable, but I do think it's important to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. But you're also with doing the callback auditions, you're working with other people, and so I think it's really cool to it's a good listening technique. Listen to the people that you're working with because everyone's gonna do different things, and it sort of forces you to change your performance, and so I kinda like it in that way, and it just kind of it's like an acting exercise within itself, which is really cool.
That is cool, and it's funny when you're in person. I mean, you're totally in the moment. Sometimes improv comes into play. Can you tell us, what the audition process was like for Paradise? Like, your highlights of the audition process, and also from, like, start to finish, because a lot of our actors that listen to us, they are just starting out. So, we share, like, it used to be all in-person auditions, and now a lot of times, like, it's over Zoom, and it's or, like, not even over Zoom, it's over self-tape, and you get to record it as many takes as you want, which is really fun, I think. So, what was that audition process like for Paradise? And spoiler, you ended up booking it, duh. But did you have a feeling at all, like when you got the script, when you got the audition, when you got the sides, I should say, when you for the audition, did you have a feeling that you were going to get it, or was it just another audition?
So you know what? So when I received the breakdown, it told me that Sterling would play my father. Well, I would play his daughter. Let's say that. But I was really excited about it, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. So I didn't allow myself to. But I auditioned in my dorm room. Actually, you could see like my dorm bed on the side a little bit. I had a very limited small space, so I did the best that I could, but I auditioned in my dorm room. I'm pretty sure, like, my roommates were, like, giggling in the other room. But I sent in a self-tape, and then they asked me to do a Zoom call with Dan, so I met up with Dan, I wanna say twice through Zoom, and then I went to LA, and I auditioned, and that audition process was was so funny because the hotel that I was staying at, the president was actually staying, there as well, so I had to go to Fox Studios to do my in-person audition, and I had to walk to Fox Studios because it was raining and my Uber couldn't get to my hotel because the entire street was blocked off for the president, and, yeah, so I had to walk in the rain. I did my audition in wet socks. It was yeah, it was absolutely nuts. It's so funny because when we went downstairs, the lobby was, like, completely different from when we checked in. There was, like a whole TSA setup down there, and, there were security guards that said Secret Service on the back. And I didn't think much of it because I was just like in my head, I was like, gotta get these lines right, gotta make sure I go in there, just thinking about what I need to do, trying to calm myself down. I was very much not on earth. But my mom, she was looking around, she's like, is the president here? And I'm like, I could care less about the president right now because I want to get this job. But it never hit me. And I'm like, maybe that was like the universe telling me, you got it, you're about to get it. But I wasn't thinking about any of that, but, I can't say that I thought that I was gonna get the role. I can't say that I had a feeling. Of course, I really wanted it, but I didn't wanna get my hopes up because I knew I'd be very disappointed if I didn't get it. Um,
Totally.
but yeah, crazy.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's what a cool and fun story. And also, a couple things, like, it goes to show, I'm sure when you were, like, walking in the rain and your hair was probably soaked and your shoes were soaked, you were probably kinda stressed, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, of course, I have this huge audition, and of course, I'm staying at the same hotel as the president, and I'm gonna be soaking wet for this audition." It just goes to show that even when major curveballs are thrown at us that are, like, out of our control, you can still do an excellent job and you can still book the role. So I think that that's something just so incredible to keep in mind and will be inspiring for our audience too. It's like life is crazy. Life never goes how we plan it.
But it's
And
doing for sure. It's already written, so
yes, and that's such a fun story. Okay, so you got the role. Do you remember where you were? Oh, and I need to say something else. I also think it's really cool that you did not specifically have a feeling that you were going to get the role, because I think sometimes actors, we can get in our head and be like, "Oh, I don't have a good feeling or this or that." And you were like, "I'm just going to try and stay level-headed, not get my hopes up, and I think that that's a great way to look at it. So do you remember where you were and what you were doing when you got the phone call that you got the role?
I was at Chick-fil-A. um, Chick-fil-A that was on my campus at the school that I went to, and my manager called me, and I was in the line, and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to hear, so I left out really quick. And, there were, like, some steps, on the side of the Chick-fil-A, and I sat there, and, my entire team was on the line, and they were like, "Okay, so you need to pack right now because you need to be in LA in, like, the next couple of days." And I bawled, like, I was crying. I remember, like, there were people walking by, and they were like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm good." Yeah, but yeah, I was at Chick-fil-A about to get some grub.
I love that. I feel like one day when you win an Oscar, your celebratory meal should be going to get Chick-fil-A, just
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
except for the Oscars are always on Sundays and Chick-fil-A's closed on
Oh,
Sundays.
yeah. I feel like that's when you want it
Oh,
too, and then it's
yeah, right? That's so funny. Or maybe when you win an Emmy. I don't know if the Emmys are on Sunday. When you win something, that could be your celebratory meal.
absolutely.
Um, that's so fun. Okay, so and we were gonna ask when did you find out that Sterling K. Brown was going to be playing your dad? But it sounds like you found that out when you got the audition, right?
I knew, yes, as soon as I received the audition.
So what was that like? Just kind of knowing that and then going to set, knowing you were just surrounded by this incredible cast?
You know what? Sterling is such a joyful guy. He has this energy that he zaps into everyone as soon as he talks to you, and it gets you energized. And so when I auditioned, I remember, like, leaving, and I remember being like, "Oh, like, that was a family, like, I don't wanna let this go." Like, I think what would be heartbreaking for me, not that if I didn't get the role, but just like, "Oh, I wouldn't be able to work with him." But I did get to work with him, which was really lovely, but, I mean, everyone knows Sterling, and so he's such a fun person, and so I knew it would be really fun to work with him, but I didn't realize truly how much fun we would have on set. I mean, goofing off, laughing, being silly, singing together, dancing together. He is truly the best. I mean, I know a lot of people say don't meet your heroes, but he's absolutely an exception. So,
Well, that's so sweet. So what was a couple of things that you guys did to build, like, that father-daughter bond so that that chemistry would come across on screen?
well, the first day that I filmed with our audition scene. So I guess you can say we were kind of just prepared for that. But I mean, we really didn't have to do very much. I mean, like I said, Sterling just has this joy that he shares with everyone. He makes everyone feel so appreciated and listened to. And he's just one of those people that you can just hit it off with right away. Yeah, but I mean, we goofed off on set, danced, sang Beyonce together, rapped Kendrick Lamar together. So, I think if you're dancing and singing with someone, that's just you don't really need to do anything else.
That's so fun. Do you have any, like, behind the scenes clips on your phone or anything that you've posted of you 2 in those moments?
I don't have any. I We celebrated my birthday on set, so I do have a video of that.
Aw,
I think
cute.
he has all the videos. I think
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say we've gotta see one, but that's so cute. So, what was one thing that you learned from working with Sterling? Anything specific that you just feel like it's gonna stick with you forever, or any advice that he gave you?
I remember us talking, and he told me that he can tell when an actor is thinking about something else while they're doing a scene. And honestly, that kind of changed my whole perception of what it means to act is that you really do have to be in the moment. And it's hard
Mhm.
because I mean, imposter syndrome and feeling embarrassed about what you have to do or anything, like you really can't think of that. And people can tell when you are thinking of something other than your character. And so I every audition that I do and from now on, every role that I do, I will think about that and try my best to really be in the moment and not think about anything else, not think about whether or not I'm doing a scene right or if the director likes me or look, just always be open to being a student, be open to the notes, apply them as best I can without getting in my head. So, yeah.
Well, if
That
you
is
well,
Oh, go ahead.
if you were doing that, you can't tell in the show. Like you can't tell. You were amazing. I
Thank
in
you.
the library scenes are just incredible.
I
Like
really thought.
it's so subtle how you walk in there and they're just kind of like you don't know what you're thinking, but you know what you're thinking, and it was great. It was yeah,
Thank you so much.
totally.
That's so true. I was gonna say too, so one time when I was well, many times when I was in acting class, I feel like the golden rule or almost the golden goal of acting is to be 100% in the scene, right? Where you completely become the character to the point where you lose all awareness of reality. And that is something that is so hard to do, but that is the craft of acting in its essence, right?
You know what? I feel like I do that very well in auditions. Like,
Mm.
I'll be thinking about it a lot before I go in, but as soon as we start the scene, I'm not thinking about anything. But I think it's a bit harder when you're filming because you're doing it over and over again. And so you're constantly thinking
Mm.
about what you did before, and now you have to think about, okay, well, don't do this, and then you have to think about the notes and all that. So it's definitely it's challenging, but it's fun once you figure out how to do something that works for you and how to block out all of that noise.
Yeah, totally. And do you have any special techniques that you use when going into an audition? Like, I know it's popular that a lot of actors will use like the three walls where they'll place like a physical object in their mind mentally on each wall around them to help ground them, like a clock or something that would be in the scene and they're visualizing that to create that alternate reality in that space for them. Do you have any tips or tricks that you use when creating your alternate reality in the scene as the character?
You know what? I think I'm still learning. I think I'm still picking up ways, but I will say, I like to move. I don't like to be just stuck. I feel like
Mhm.
I show more of myself when I'm able to move and I don't feel restricted. And I think when you do show yourself, it makes the character more real. And so I like to move as much as I can. I might even make a fake prop or something with my hands. Or like I remember when I auditioned for Paradise, it was the scene where I was cooking. It's the first scene where you see Presley and she's cooking. And so I was, making eggs and opening up cabinets and stuff, just not being afraid of that. And like, I think a lot of times we'll think of, okay, well, what will the director or the casting directors want me to do? But just do it. They'll tell you, but just let it all out. So yeah, that's for me. I don't try to think too much about it. I just let it all out.
That's good. That is really good the way that you put that. Excellent.
Wait, were you actually
Okay.
cooking during that scene?
Well, there was no like the stove wasn't on, but
Okay.
there's one point where I like give my brother James eggs. Like I eat first and then I get up and then I give him eggs and I go get like orange juice or something from the refrigerator.
Okay, I wasn't sure if because that's probably really hard if the stove is on and you're like cooking and have to act and make sure you're
Oh
not
yeah.
burning yourself.
I've started to stretch before I do a scene. I was just stretching my trailer just because you never really know exactly what you're gonna do before you do a scene. Like, yeah, the script will tell you what's going on where you are, but honestly, that might not work when you actually do the scene, and we may have to come up with something else. And so I always try to stretch just to get my body ready for whatever I may have to do. And yeah.
That's cool.
That's so fun. And when you say you're eating in the scene, do you have any certain techniques that you use when on screen eating, or are you just eating like you normally would?
I eat. I just eat. I just eat.
I love it.
I
That's amazing.
think I was eating like strawberries and pancakes in that scene. I just eat. Hey, it's like
Yum.
crafty, but I get to do it while I'm working. So
That's amazing. Okay, speaking of crafty, what's your go-to crafty snack on set?
so our crafty team was they really did it. They made these like Italian subs. I got one every time. I'm a really picky eater as well. So I remember I don't usually like to eat while I'm filming. I don't know why. I just don't like to eat. I mean, I'll have like a piece of candy, like a sour strip or something. But one of our ads, he was like, you need to eat something. So I was like, okay, they take very good care of us at the Paradise set. And I tried it. It was an Italian sub, and I was like, this is amazing. And I got one every day since then. So that's an Italian
Ooh.
crafty.
One more masterclass moment question before we move on to behind the scenes. So there's a scene where Presley trusts someone who turns out to be bad, and as an actor, how do you play that moment with genius surprise, even though you already know the character's true intentions from reading the script? I know that's a deep question, but what are your thoughts on that?
You know what? Again, just, like, not thinking too hard about it, and, I I mean, I especially when you know the person too, like, I of course, I know the, character that you are referencing, and she's so sweet. She's the best. I love her so much. But, yeah, just not thinking too much about it, and I think the script gives me all that I need, and, just I think that is the time where you really can just act and pretend. That's the most exciting part about it is that I get to pretend.
Yeah, totally. Playing pretend. Okay, so for our behind the scenes segment, what did you and Charlie Evans, who plays Jeremy Bradford, do to help build your character's chemistry on screen?
We played a lot of Uno. I beat him a lot in Uno. We played a lot of card games. We sang together. He taught me how to play guitar. Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's someone that makes you feel very safe. So it was very easy to work with him.
That is so sweet. I love that. Okay, so the finale would have probably come out after we do this episode. So, what has been your favorite thing from the entire season, and what do you hope to see for Presley in season 2?
Ooh. My favorite thing I've honestly just seeing it all come together. I mean, from the moment that I got the script, you're given so much and there's so much going on. And so I was just always really excited to just see it all come together. And the music has also been my favorite thing too. The music show is excellent. And then I really think I would really love to see Presley kind of she's been through a lot season 1 and, the loss of her mother, the loss of Billy, and also just adapting to this new world. I honestly would love to see Presley break a little bit. It's a lot, and I'm not sure. I mean, I think that she's masking it very well. It's not hard to, carry the burden of grief and also just taking care of your family, but I think I'd like to see her break, um, or just kind of release that this is hard, maybe argument with her father or something. I don't know. But yeah.
Cool, that's
I don't know if
amazing.
you've seen Honora, but it kind of reminds me of that last scene in Honora where she just kind of like breaks down at the end, where it's like the whole movie she's going through this like constant where she has to remain like a certain level, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden at the end she's like, "Oh, now I could breathe."
Hmm.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
I totally get
I'd
that.
love to see Presley do something like that for sure.
Yeah, and how fun would that be to play? I love that. Okay, so we're gonna do rapid fire. So Mordecai, do you want to take this one? Do you want to do rapid fire for us?
Yeah, sure. Um,
Okay, so Aaliyah, do you know how to play rapid fire?
Yes, it's you asked me a
Oh,
question super and I have to answer it super quickly.
yeah, but
yes, beautiful. She knows.
but if you don't, it's okay too,
Okay.
because they might be thinking. So yeah, we'll start off. So the first time on a professional set.
First time on a professional set was Maya, the Honey Girls. Wait,
Nice.
that's a lie. Akapop Kids. That was my first time on a professional set. Music video.
Nice. First professional audition.
The Lion King.
Oh wow. Okay. First time you had to cry on cue, if you had to.
Presley Paradise, where she gets
Okay.
out Uncle Billy.
Okay, so I
Nice.
have to ask, what is your technique? What is your trick for crying on cue?
You know what? Honestly, I probably wouldn't recommend this to anyone, but I just wrote down like a bunch of like triggers and I just read them over and over again, kind of like bullying myself. I wouldn't recommend that. I also listen to a lot of Frank Ocean. Um, I don't know if anyone, well, of course, everyone knows who Frank Ocean is, but he has a few songs that really just get you. And so I listened to that over and over again. There was actually Sterling is a very funny guy, very silly. And while we were filming that, he'd be like, "Look at this funny video," and I'd be like, "Sterling, I can't watch that video. I have to stay here. I'm so sorry." But yeah.
Yeah, and you know that's a popular answer from a lot of the actors and actresses that we interview is they'll listen to emotional music, they'll think of their triggers, they'll look at pictures of a family member that stirs up some sort of emotion. But
Mm.
yeah, that's intense. Okay, sorry, I'll let you keep going.
Celeb you want to work with in the future?
Jordan Peele.
Okay. Favorite line from a film or TV show?
Oh, yippee-ki-yay. Sterling says it in the show.
That's cute.
A song that pumps you up before a scene.
That's good. That's really good. You know what? I listened to Sade's Paradise before starting my day. Every time we were filming Paradise. So
Nice. First on-screen kiss if you had one.
I've never had one.
Oh, okay. Something to look forward to.
Maybe we'll see next season. Maybe.
Okay, season 2. Here we go. Um, favorite. Well, we said that already, but first TV show or film that inspired you to become an actor, or show. You could pick a Broadway show if that's.
I would say Annie.
Oh,
I would say Annie because it's got a little bit of everything. It's got the dancing, it's got the singing, it's got the acting, and that my mother kept me on that film as a kid. So I think watching that it was kind of just I want to do that. I was like doing it in my living room and in my kitchen, like doing the choreography and stuff. So yeah, Annie.
no way! That's so much fun.
I love that. Okay, and I'm gonna throw in one last one here because I feel like we got to ask you so many amazing questions about your career today and the techniques that you use, and you are such a brilliant actress. But walk us through what does the day in the life as Aliyah as an actress look like for you? You can choose maybe it's an audition day or an on-set day or an off day, but what does that look like?
Alrighty. So I wake up. I'm a bit of a night owl, so I wake up around 11. Yeah. Of course, brush my teeth, wash my face, get dressed. I read my book. I'm currently reading Hunger by Roxane Gay. I eat. I'll go over, check emails, of course, go over lines, any scripts. I like to film my auditions at night. I don't know why, but I just like to film my auditions at night. It's very quiet. And then once I turn that in, usually I'm watching a show. Right now I'm watching White Lotus. So yeah, that's my day. I don't leave my
Oh my gosh.
very much. So if I leave,
Same girl.
I'm going to someone else's house. But yeah.
I love that. That's so fun. Okay, and I haven't seen the new season of White Lotus. What do we think so far? Is it binge worthy? What's the vibe?
So it's coming out weekly. So I'm not able to binge it, but I'm loving it though.
I know. Me too. It's so good.
I love Parker Posey's character. I'm from the South, so to see people like play Southern characters, I love it. Yeah.
That
Oh my
whole
gosh.
family I'm obsessed with. I'm just like, where is this going? What are we doing?
What's up with y'all? What's going on?
Totally.
Okay, well now I'm excited to watch it, but I'm so sad that it's one episode at a time. That makes me so upset. But that's okay. Amazing. Okay, cool. Okay, so tell our audience where can they find you, follow you, support you. I know that you said you write music too. Do you have anything released? Is anything in the works? Tell our audience all the ways that they can come find you and support you.
So I don't have anything original released. If you want to see me sing, I have a few on my TikTok. I have a few covers on my TikTok. I also have a few covers on my Instagram. Both of those handles are at Aliyah Mastin, ALIYAH MASTIN. You can also see me sing at Acapop Kids on YouTube. And if you want to see my face a few more times and see this girl Presley we've been talking about, you can go to Hulu and Disney Plus and watch Paradise.
Ooh, was so good. That was great. Okay, amazing. So thank you everyone for listening to this episode. This is the Young Entertainment Podcast. Don't forget to stream on Spotify and Apple and wherever you listen to podcasts. And also you can check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And don't forget, if you also want to learn how to become an actor, you can go to Instagram, go to the link in our bio, and download our How to Get an Agent guide. So make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. And thank you so much, Aliyah, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure
Yeah,
chatting
thanks
with
so
you.
much.
And this is just the beginning. I mean, you are off to such a strong start, and we can't wait to see you just flourish and grow. And girl, you're going to be at the Oscars someday, and you'll get that Chick-fil-A the day after on Monday. That's how it's going to go.
Thank you so much.